Hello. All right, so have a lot going on tonight. Actually, I'm working on the Demi Morgan's feet right now. They're over there, built up onto stilts. I've got to do stilt covers for them, and I've got to make pants for him. I did get his hands done. I can show you some hands for him, which are pretty simple. I'll do a thumb loop on the sleeve of the shirt, so that make sure they don't ride apart and any skin will show. But pretty good motion, pretty good balance of look, I think, for the Demi Morgan's hands. Okay, so I'm actually working on claws for the feet right now, and I have most of them done, and that's why I kind of jumped on a little bit early tonight, because I kind of wanted to show you guys making the claws. So that's a claw right there. That's going to go on the stilt itself. Each one gets 3 claws, and I have one more left to make. And I just that's. Did I make a pattern? No. I made one just freeform out of a slightly thinner than normal. This is the big roll of floor mat from Harbor Freight. I made one claw from that, see if I liked it, and then I flattened it back out and made a pattern. And that's how I made all 6. So to make them is pretty simple. Beverage. I'm heating up this foam with a heat gun. It's already been cut to shape. And I want it to be pretty warm, so I'm not just going to bend it, I'm also going to stretch it. I'm going to dish that top section. And this foam heats up really quick, so I don't have a lot of time to work with it. Okay, this is my dishing tool. It's the end of a different tool. Yes, that's hot, and I'm just pushing. You can see that's kind of just making it bulbous. Let's make it bulbous. Okay. Just working it so that I've got this nice dish up on this end. And I'm running that down through here too to give a nice curve to that claw. So I'm going to have a nice, see, it's already hardening. And I'm going to hit these on a sander too to finish these edges a little better. But that is the gist of it. See, now I've got a nice 3D claw shape. And the pattern is bigger, so it turns out right. What I then have to do is trim off a little bit so it sits true and flush on the foot. There we go. So now I can mount this flat up against the foot that I'm making. Let me move you guys to the belt sander. Come on, guys. Want to see a dead body? Okay, and no one has chatted yet, I guess. No one has said hi. I'm not sure why that is, or if that's true. Sometimes machines lie to us. And I feel like that may be the case, because normally people pop on and say hi. So, who knows? See if we're on here. We're on. A little more of a polished edge right there. Ah! Hello, Fair Magic. Thank you. Glad you like the work. The quality difference between sanding your edges and not sanding your edges is pretty severe. That's your sanded edge. That's an unsanded edge. See how you've got that like double lip right there? I'm going to make that go away. It's just not as even. It looks a little jagged. Sanding it's going to take that away. That's what we do. Okay, yeah. 2 out of 6, so this won't take long. Bear with me on the noise, kids. That's a nice shaped claw now. Last one. Okay. Hello, Michael J. Lassiter. Yeah, all I've done is I've just done these claws, really. That's all I've done for the video. I had one left to do, so I wanted to make sure that I hopped on and did it. Otherwise, I would have started with claws. And these claws are basically this foam. It's the floor mat from Harbor Foam, the thinner stuff, the big roll, not the individual squares. I made this little template in order to make my claw shapes. With the heat gun and a little bit of forming, I get these claws. You'll see. And they're going to go on those stilt feet that are over there. I also need some kind of a toe on that. So I'll be working on toes next too, because they do have toes. I'm not a fan of toes on stilt costumes in general because they rip off. I don't even care how you make them, but they catch them on stuff. They're a trip hazard. I'm not a big toe fan, but the build requires it, so I'll do it. Actually, Jag Gilbert, this is the foam-filled body right here. That's my mannequin that I made. And I made this in order to make this Demogorgon costume because of the nature of how it's made. So you'll see me work on it a little bit more later. But this is just a shirt that I built for him. You know, this will all come off. I got to put pants on. I made gloves. Head sock for when I get the mask, and I'm doing his pants, his legs today. His legs will be in parts of the stilt costume, so it'll be a stilt from the foot down to the ground. There'll be a stilt cover from the knee down to the bottom of the foot, and he'll have some monster pants, which will be on his thighs, basically. So we're getting all of that together now. All together now. All together now. Okay. Hello, line cook. Well, cool deal. Yeah, so this bodysuit it's all made with stuff that you guys have access to. You could. What I have done is I've built them up to have big nubs, and now I'm going to do pool noodles because they're the right thickness too for some of these toes. I'm going to make one toe, so I've cut off two pieces, so I've got a starting point for the others. And every time I do a step on this, I'm going to do the step to this one and bring another one up to speed. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to cut this. So I can attach it to the foot and the toe is at a nice natural angle. So because I've cut this one, I now need to cut another one of these guys. So I'm going to just kind of keep going in stages here. But if I make a mistake, I'm not going to replicate it over every single piece. Now I cut a piece, I'm just going to look at it, play with it. Okay, no, I don't think I can use those for anything. Where are we? Have we commented? Hello, Dave. Get back to toes. Hello, Tonia. Tonia? Tonia sounds better. Sorry if that's wrong. And now I'm cutting in some duck lips. I just want some duck lips on right now. That's not true. I actually want to make a nice rounded toe. So if I glue that together, I'm going to have a more rounded toe. But got to be like a mini clover. Okay, that's going to give me a nice rounded toe. See those cuts? Now when I glue this together, I've got that. I put that together. I'm just going to have this nice round dome at the end of this. And heat is what's going to make that stick together. I'm not going to glue it at all. I'm just going to use heat. But because I'm using heat, I'm going to go ahead and throw some gloves on so I don't burn myself. These are just thick cotton gloves. You don't want to use any synthetic glove because you can melt them and then they stick to your hands like napalm. And that's not as fun as you want, because if something is burning, you don't want to be burning and sticky. Yes, I have, Farrell. I've certainly done that before. And my friend Michael Stolberg, he actually just recently did like a set of giant feet that way. How'd we do? Nice round dome. Yes, it shrinks the foam a little bit as you put it together, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of these toes built. See how that's going to look like a toe for me? With the claw attached to the foot. I think that'll work well. Grab one more pool noodle. Now I like polyethylene foam. I like this foam a lot more for stilt feet than upholstery foam. The reason why is upholstery foam is very absorbent. Well, if you're in a stilt costume, you're gonna be walking, possibly through a puddle, and then your foot's gonna absorb that weight, and one leg weighs more than the other. These won't absorb water near as fast, so that is why I like them on the bottom of my stilt feet, not an absorbent foam. Okay. I have one toe shape done. 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 6. This is the last one I need. Now I know how to do it. I know it's going to work, so I don't mind making them. And from that point, I'm going to make it work. And I want to dome my ends before I cut that angle, just because I think it's going to be easier to form it without it. Okay, once again, I have my clover cut. Let's heat this puppy. Half at a time. Now this stuff it gets unhot really fast. So you kind of have to do it and then bam, put it together. Even setting down the heat gun often takes more time than I want, and it will come undone. There we go. Well, thank you. Glad you liked my work. Now that has made a much shorter toe. I'm going to roll with I'm going to say that's a middle toe, and that is a side toe. It is just me in the shop tonight. I haven't like greatly offended anyone, but it's very stormy out. Rob's got a flat tire he's dealing with, and my road actually closes when it rains because I'm in the country of Texas. So it actually makes it harder to get in and out if you don't know the neighborhood well. Okay, got my little clover shaped cut. This is the last one I've already cut in. Okay. So I'm sorry guys if my stream is dropping. Again, it is a stormy night. Probably has a little something to do with it. Hey, Linda. Is that a spider? I don't. No, I'm not making a spider. These are going to be toes. It's only a spider if they don't turn out to be good toes. And I have made now a long middle toe and 2 shorter side toes. But now I'm going to do my cutting to round these ends off. Not your crap connection, my crap internet. Was that a spider joke, Linda, because I make them out of pool noodles? It's a very similar process. Okay. Perfect. All right, let's get this guy done. And I'm kind of just heating it and then I'm pushing it together, and that makes it seal up. That's together. That's pretty well bonded. I'll do that to the other side. And then I'll have a much more toe-like shape. For some reason, Jingle Bells is my go-to hum to myself music. I'm not sure why. I don't know. this toe has been massacred. Won't work. I screwed it up. It's ruined. Ah! Okay, let's do another one. I have 4, so I need 2 more. One has to be a little bit longer because it's going to be a middle toe. And I like that plan. See you on in a minute. I do, but I won't be able to feel it because I got a glove on. So there's no point. At this point, I have no time because this is a very fast process. All right, so here we go. Okay, there's my toe hole. That's my toe. It's a little adult looking, kind of. If you're ill or something, I guess. But. Okay, that's toe. Let's get this set up for this guy. This is the longer of the toes. Okay, so I got 2 long ones. 1, 2, 3 short ones, and 1 more shorty, and I'm all set. All this work just so a Demigorgon can have toes. Okay. I do check it, but this time I'm holding this, so I'm shooting right on my hand. Yeah, I can tell it's hot. I just have to cut this one at an angle. All right, so now let's go ahead and clean up this station. Right here is where I'm going to work on the foot. I'm going to back you up a little bit. So this piece, all right, this Demigorgon, this is an $1,800 costume. And so it's almost $2,000. If I were to sculpt and mold it, it would have to be a $4,000 or $5,000 costume. So I'm doing it in build up, and I'm doing 4 of these guys. This is like 1 of 4. But I'm patterning kind of everything as I go. So I should be able to knock out the fabrication on one of these in just a couple, just like a couple days. In all honesty, I've got all my muscles laid out so that I know what my muscles are, and I can just trace them and cut them, or have Rob trace them and cut them, and then be done. Every step of the way, I've made templates, like I made a template for the claw. So this now goes with my other templates. Obviously, the head is molded. So There we go. All right. So, gang, my extreme apologies. I'm not going to disconnect, but well, anyway. There we go. What I was going to say was, I'm getting some messages. I'm sure I'll have to look at them later, but I don't need to right now. These I will be working. These guys I'll be working with. I'm going to move them to another table. Keep that out of the way. I love making stuff. It's just fun. It's good for you. Sadly, my wife is sick. She caught a little summer cold, and she is down with some sinusy trouble, which I hate. All right, so now let's go turn on the air compressor. Don't check your heat gun with your face. You can do it with your hand. Yes, hello everybody. 9 big projects going right now. L90. So this is a piece that I got built last night. This is just the main form that covers the stilt. This is nowhere near painted. It's a foam skin with latex on it that I fabricated. There's a pool noodle skeleton in there. I have checked my heat gun with my face. I'm just saying don't do it. I'm not saying that I never do it. Sometimes you have to. If, like, your hands are busy. You know? All right, let's get the sprayer hooked up. Air compressor on. So last night I added 2 layers of latex. I did 2 layers of latex over top of this foam skin. That makes it really durable, but I have to swap it out now and put contact cement in it. And latex is not as friendly to the sprayer itself. Contact cement. Need a lid on there at all times. So I get this sucker clean. Yep, it's shooting pretty good now. It's gonna be gross. Ah, told you that'd be gross. And no, I can't blow through it right now. So I gotta get in there and clean it a little bit better. What am I doing? I'm cleaning out my sprayer. So to clean out the tip of this sprayer, this is actually like piano wire. It's thick wire with another wire around it, but it'll fit inside of this little nozzle. I just need a pokey bit. I need something that's going to poke in here. I like that it has some ridges on it. Like DJ on Jazzy Allen. All right, so that's the wire passes through that no problem. Shouldn't have an issue with material going through it. Can I blow through it now? Barely. Boy, why is it so tough? I don't think it should be that tough. Why does it taste so bad? Sweet. What are you making them out of, Walter? Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's clean. Very cool. I'm actually going to buy a pumpkin soon and pattern it and try and make some out of upholstery foam. You know, cutting and gluing the way that I do. So I think that that would be, well, I know it's certainly inexpensive. I think it would give a good looking pumpkin at the end too, because it has that nice even texture. All right, that took forever, but we're clean. We're clean, but we're not spraying. So let's find out why we're not spraying. That was a giant wad of snot that just came out. For those who don't know, giant wads of snot are bad. That might mean that there's a bit of a reaction between the latex and the contact cement, meaning it froze it up that first go round. Should be able to set it up now and have it spray. Yes, I do, Gus. And I should have two of these, one for latex and one for contact cement, but I just haven't set up that way. So I was swapping back and forth. It hasn't been an issue up until today. And it might be the issue is all in there. The rust. So the wire moves through, the air moves through, the contact cement is not moving through. It must be too thick. I can fix these. First, let's take a look. There's some glops in there. I'm not a fan of glops. Let's get them out. That's a little thicker than I like to spray. So let's go to the new can. I have like 30 paint can openers over there by my paint section. I very rarely use them because I'm an idiot. This is new and flowy, and there isn't any boogers in it. It's boogerless. All right, thinner contact cement, cleaned out hose and nozzle. Let's see how we do. We're doing okay. Kind of spraying now. There we go. Could I have brushed it on with all the time I'm taking messing around with this? Yeah, I could have. But I want the sprayer working for later applications where I need it. Okay. The contact cement has to cure up a little. Monster Mud isn't great for outdoors, in my personal opinion. No one asked me. It's also terribly heavy, so I'm not a fan. Oh yeah, liquid nails. Well, that's what they use at Lee, New Hampshire. Giant Haunted Overload. Hello, Horror Beauty. I'm working on feet for my Demi Morgan. This is the other stilt. I'm just going to hit it. I want to hit these toes. My toes are all over the place. You might say that I have toes in different area codes. Different area codes. For some of you who don't get that, that's a reference to a rap song. It wasn't a good reference, it wasn't funny, but I did it. I'm not proud. Hello, Australia. All right, we're blowing going now, by the way. This is what we want right here. Okay. So, let's talk about the battle plan. the battle plan is that I'm going to put these toes on. I'm going to put the nails on. Well, I'm not going to put the nails on. I'm going to do the nails last. So I'm doing the nails last, but I'm putting the toes on. I'm going to put a bed for the fatty part around the cuticle, so I can set the nail in there later. That way, if the suit gets bumped or the toe gets caught or whatever, hopefully the nail will just come off and not the whole toe. But then I'm going to skin it with fabric. So I'm going to use fabric to put a skin over this whole thing. I built a structure with pool noodles, and then I built a skin with thin foam sheeting, and then I hit that with 2 layers of latex last night. So I'll be, assembling this today. And I should have these feet all put together, and then I'll do another layer of latex or 2 over top of the fabric that's on there. And then I can get him painted so that he matches everything else. Speed run. Hello from Texas also. Hello, Cindy. Horror Beauty's not even talking to me. She's talking to Line Cook and Thor. Monster Mud is drywall joint compound. 4 gallons of drywall joint compound. You buy the 5-gallon bucket. You take out about 1/5 of it and then pour in black latex house paint. That is Monster Mud. Many people dip fabric in it to drape it over things. It dries out nicely. Okay. There we go. All right, so let me see if I'm sticky. Kind of sticky. Sticky. I've got to figure out where the nails are going to sit on these, because that tells me how high up to put the toes. I think that's it. And now, right now, I make a right stilt and a left stilt. And I want this foot, I want these to be opposite. Why am I making a right and a left when these stilts are actually universal? Because where I put the toes makes a big difference. If I get the toes straight, I don't want these toes to kick out, because then they're gonna like my thumbs are the inner toes. I don't want that to happen. So I just kick them out a little bit. Then you can walk without catching those inner toes as much. It's still gonna happen some, but nowhere near as much. These inner toes are just gonna go straight. I have to go up a little bit with them to trip. You don't want there to be any chance for that toe, that nail, to catch on something and go underneath of the stilt, because then you've created a pivot point and the actor could fall over. It's not a simple thing to make feet for stilts that are effective and safe. Okay, now I can push down some, really attach these guys. Sehr schön. And these feet are so different from what the Demogorgon's feet look like. These are Demogorgon. Poi didn't have the limitation of having to have a person inside of it. So these feet are very different. But there are some things that I can take from this and use to my advantage. I'm going to use this stuff to do the bedding of the nail width. Like, so I'll do one of those numbers, and then the nail can just sit right beside of that. You know, so that's my cuticle. Goodbye. And the great thing about YouTube is that it's easily findable. I do need to go back and start labeling these videos so that you know what I'm doing, so people can search. It's fun to watch them live, but if you want to see the project, I need to label them all. All right. So I feel like I need a little more. I'm just ramping down to these toes too fast. So I want to put a little something right there. Alright, so now I have half of a... I'm not going to rub the toes. Now you're being creepy, Jason. So I cut that thin, so I'll be able to attach it easy. I want it to be that long. Again, I want them similar. And I'm going to cut them to the same length. Now, both sides. I want to cut a nice long taper. What I mean by a long taper is that it goes to almost nothing on that edge. So I'm going to hit this with a heat gun now. I'm going to put this right here. And that will strengthen the position of that toe and just make the toe blend in more with the foot, so it's not this foot shape with a stuck-on toe. Great thing about pool noodles is they're so lightweight. Now, I did not measure this perfectly even when I cut the pool noodle as far as in half, but that's okay. Like, if the main one is thicker, it's no big deal. All right, possible crisis, my last pool noodle. That means, you know what that means? That means that I judge effectively how many I'll need for this project. Yes. As long as I only need this many for the front end. I'm not going to use any on the head, so yeah, it should be fine. Although they are like 25 cents at some Walmarts now, so I may end up going to Walmart and just buying, 50 or so, throw them in the garden shed, have them on hand for when I need them. All right. So there are 37 people watching. There were just 38. Now there's 36. I'm not going to talk about how many people are watching because apparently that makes the viewers plummet away. You never know. But you know what? What is this? This is Tuesday night. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow I am back at work with the rest of the world. What am I doing back at work? Well, I'm making a demi-gorgon. But that's at Well, I'm actually not. Tomorrow I'm making a gibbering mouther is the monster that I'm making at work. Because we need one. If you don't know what a gibbering mouther is, I highly recommend you look it up. It'll be educational, you'll laugh, you'll cry. It's better than cats. That's the musical, not the animal. Okay, I'm not going to do any more free-form beveling. I need to do that while it's on the table because that is janky. This one's good, this one's janky. Good, not janky. Janky, meaning irregular, unnice, of low quality, possibly. No one wants that. I don't even want my toe noodle toe shims to be janky. Can't stress the importance enough of having sharp knives, sharp tools. Because you're going to cut yourself, you're going to do it on a dull knife faster than a sharp knife. Because that's when they get hung up and act weird. A sharp tool does exactly what you think it's going to do, but a dull tool takes some finagling. Toe shims. Hashtag toe shims. All right. Last one. There we go. All right. So again, these are going to act like splints, kind of, and they're going to secure the toe to the foot, yes, but also give some structure and make the toe feel like it's part of the foot. See where we're at comment-wise. Some people aren't toe people. Jason, you're really liking the toes, man. I don't know what to say about that. But whatever you're into, I'm not going to judge. I'm going to judge. I'm going to judge. You know? Yeah, don't do that. Anyway. All right. So yeah, a little bit out, a little bit out. These are more straightforward. The Wunderbar. Let's get the heat gun. Where I store my heat gun, the end of this cord. But I'm just warming it up. Now that it's warm, yeah, see? That's going to be nice. That's just going to be nice. It's going to do nice things. Yeah, and the fabric is going to like really seal the deal and make this look a lot more like skin. So, I heated that one. Let's go ahead and back this guy up a little bit. I want heating room on this table. So that means so I shipped off some orders today. Had a few orders from MHC and around that time period. Last of them. I now have 2 more orders to get out the door that are big ones and some little ones. All right, so Rob's not here. He's dealing with a flat tire. Lexi's not here because my road's a little flooded and she don't drive good in water. And my wife is sick. So you get no story. I'm not going to lie to you about where I'm going. I have to go pee. Be right back. While I'm gone, ponder that jar. Just think about that jar. I'm done. It was awesome. Sorry for that little diversion. That was necessary. Let's get back to our feats. Thank you. Thank you. It went very well for me, actually. So I appreciate you, offering me that, those congratulations. So I used to drink a lot of soda, like Diet Coke and Coke Zero. And I used to drink a lot of iced tea, so I would get kidney stones a lot. So sometimes when you pee and it's not terrible, that is a good thing. Firmly in the camp of too much information for folks, but there you go. That's what I want, little ski ramps. This is what I have, really flat. They also have to curve this way, not this way, so yeah, see, this gives a nice sheen to it. Guys, here's how it works. I do stuff, and that causes me to think and see other stuff. So what is this? What is that? That's the leaf of a corn plant. So with a pool noodle, and you cut it in half long ways, that's a pretty durable, yeah, it's thicker than one would normally be. But that look is pretty good. And these already come in green. So, one of the reasons I think I'm successful at what I do is you can look at things and see other things. That's my job, right? This one's thicker. It's going to take a little longer to heat up. All right, so the main heat gun you'll see me use is this one. It's from Harbor Freight, and it's $9.99. I like it because it gets really hot. It gets really hot. It has two settings. It has a low and a high, but I never use that. Harbor Freight, $9.99 most of the time. I think it's really $12.99, but it's almost always on sale for $9.99. And I like these because they hold up. These suckers are awesome, and they put out more heat than a high dollar heat gun a lot of the times. There's a $80 Wagner heat gun in our costume shop at Dark Hour, and I hate that sucker. It's a paperweight, and that's about it, because it doesn't get hot enough. This is hallelujah for little to no Chinese tolerances, because this sucker, no safety features, it just gets hotter than a mofo fast. And that's what I want out of my heat gun. So good question. Happy to answer it. There you go. These are getting a little shorter as they heat up. They shrink a little, which is fine. But that ramp is going to be such a nice transition from the stilt to the toe. Hold it all together. But yes, Harbor Freight, $9.99. If you're only going to buy the one thing, you can use a 25% off coupon. The cheapest I've gotten them for is about $8. Just about any of the Harbor Freight heat guns, the cheaper ones. Don't get the more expensive ones. Get the cheap one. It's the best. Again, there's my toe ramp. I'm happy to have. I need a toe ramp. It's got to be blue, and it's got to be curved, and it's got to hold my toes on. I need a toe ramp. I'm holding out for a toe ramp for the Denny Durgan feet. If it helps, I don't know why y'all watch me work either. It's a phenomenon I haven't quite figured out. Because, well, sometimes those songs happen. Yeah, this is like a monster tongue. There you go. Harbor Freight, man, I don't like the expensive ones because A, you pay up to 10 times as much for them and they don't work as well. How upsetting is that? When I pay 10 times more for something, I want it to work well. I'm contemplating a $3,000 pair of stilts. Contemplating. But they're really nice. I used to walk on them when I worked for Universal sometimes, but you know, a normal pair of stilts is about $300. Now, I don't get the cheapest kind of stilts because they're not as good, but you know, $275 or so for a pair of stilts, yeah. $3,000? Oh, that's tough. But I'm really thinking about it because they're so nice. They're such good quality. What I end up doing right now is I put stilts on, and I'll buy a new pair of stilts for every costume. So the issue that I would run into then is that I would have one pair of $3,000 stilts that I always wanted to walk on. I'd have to change the feet and the covers and all. I'm building this onto this pair of stilts. That's all this is for now. you know. All right. I need you. Remember how before this was working? Those were good times. Well, it's not working now. It's not good times. First thing I always want to do is shoot clean. This time I know that my contact cement is fine. But there was probably some latex left in there, and I probably should have shot. You know what? Let me shoot a little carburetor cleaner through it. Because that will get a lot of that crap off of there. Yes, yeah, but they're high quality. They're called Bigfoot stilts. I used them at Universal, but they're $3,000 a pair. You know, not cheap. That's right. It is karaoke shop night. Well, I'm watching it because it's just me. I'm able to, just go. You know, I don't have to worry about checking on Rob or Lexi or whoever. I can just kind of work, but I can also, I have no one else to talk to, so I'm more with you guys, just in general. So, anyway. There we go. Now we're spraying like nobody's. Carburetor cleaner, man. Oh, the best for spray guns and airbrushes of all time. Look at that lay down now. Woo! We in business. We in. All right, so I've got one of these sprayed. I gotta get 3 of these guys sprayed. Un, dos. Tres. To thy home out on the range. Alright, so I'm only doing one. Let that set. Who's got time to let stuff set? Let's heat gun it. Let's heat gun those suckers. Well, it absolutely, positively has to cure up right now. What I actually like about that is I'm actually going to soften these with the warmth. The warmth is going to soften them. So because they're softer, they'll conform in shape a little better. This is very hot, by the way. If I were not used to it, I would have burned the crud out of my thumb. And who wants a thumb with missing crud? Nobody. That's who. Yeah, see, that's just going to be a more sturdy toe in general. But I think I might have overly warmed it. And once I put this on there, man, it's on there. So make sure that you put it where you want it. I have to, you know, the bond is going to be stronger than the foam in many cases. And again, with this inner toe, the one that faces inside of the other one, I want to make sure that that I'm not putting anything on the edge where they're going to rub together. Right, so that's a more natural looking foot as far as that profile. It swoops down into it, just to stick off of there. So I'm calling that one good. I want to swap out. Don't let Halloween sneak up. Thanks. When gonna see some Muppets? I don't make Muppets. What's with you and toes and Muppets, Jason? You're killing me, Smalls. I haven't bought a flocking gun yet. It's on my short list, though, Michael. You know it is, but I talk about it too often. I really want to see one of my cat masks and my werewolf mask flock. I just think that'll be a really nice look, and to have it as an option for a couple of those suits. So right now, this gun is working so well, I could cobweb with it. And what I mean is that when you spray contact cement, you can get cobwebs that dries in the air. And I'm kind of cobwebbing everything over here on that side of the shop. I might even, you know what, while I'm waiting, I'll shoot a few on purpose. Let's cobweb something. Let's cobweb these two heads over here. Those two heads. So what happened was I just shot it, all right? And that's pretty good. But now I'm going to take some contact cement, spray adhesive. Hang on, gang. All right, so you guys can't see those cobwebs, but look at them. See all those cobwebs right in there? Well, they're all over. Thank you. Appreciate it, William. So now I put spray adhesive on those cobwebs, and that's adding another layer. I'm gonna let that set for a little bit. But right now, to the naked eye, it looks beautiful. But now that that spray adhesive has gotten sticky, I'll put a little bit of baby powder, or I could also do like white spray paint at this point. I don't have any white right here, but I have gray. Let's do some gray spray paint. I'm waiting on my contact cement to set up, so I don't mind playing. I don't want to hit this stuff, I just want to hit the webs. And that's a brown primer. Glad I looked right here, not gray like the lid that was on it. Whew. Just trying to find some spray paint. All right, so we're going to go with Crazy Cobwebs. I have chrome. I'm going to spray the cobwebs chrome, because I can't find gray and I can't find white. They're over there. I haven't put them away. Rob's not here. There we go. All right, so I hit it with a little bit of color, but not a lot. Let's look at the cobwebs. See the cobwebs that we just did? Okay, so there you go. That is how we make the cobwebs. And I just wanted to show you guys while I was waiting on my other stuff to dry. And now I have to plug in my phone. Its battery is lower than I wanted it to be. There we go. All right, so back over here, now that the phone is charging and stuff. Probably the biggest one I'm going to use in the middle. I think that's this. It's a more gentle ramp from foot to toe. It makes more sense structurally. The side ones kind of curve in, which actually really help accentuate the foot and what's happening inside of there. So I am probably ready to start. No, I have to do the beds and then fabric. And then I can start fabric. And by beds, all I mean is an area of cuticle. So I have that much nail. I need this much. Of this foam to make that cube. It's going to go all the way. I'm just going to make a nice little circle with it. Right there. I think that's going to look nice. I'm just putting this in basic lengths. This is backer rod. This is 1/2 inch foam backer rod. You can get it from Home Depot. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how many I need. I have a ton of birds going crazy behind my shop. I don't want to put in the nails yet. I want to leave them. So I'm going to grab a marker and I'll mark them where they go. Yes, chicken farmer. If you look at one of my videos, it is silicone and naphtha, where I take silicone caulk and I thin it down with naphtha. Well, then you just add food coloring to make it look like chocolate, and you'll have drippy looking chocolate. Silicone and naphtha is great for gore. It's great for anything you want to look wet and gooey, basically. But you thin down silicone caulk with naphtha. Hey, Scott, good to see you on. Very good, Linda. Knock that sucker out. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Okay, so I got those all traced out. Spray up. I love my glue sprayer. It makes me happy. Okay, so these guys are great, but they don't have even a flat spot because they're completely round. So I'm going to cut a flat spot in them so I can use that to glue them down. That'll give me more surface area. And I'm cutting about between 1/4 and 1/3. Not between 1/4 and 1/3 because I'm worried about precision, between a quarter and a third because I just need to get a flat area to glue them down. Easier.
Hi there. It's 7 p.m. right now and 76 degrees Fahrenheit outside. I heard a thunderstorm may be headed our way. Here's a rundown of...
There we go. I fixed it. 30% less crazy. I'm just laying it down and cutting off so it's flat, and I can glue that down. Yes, I have a lot of thunderstorms right now. That's actually why the internet's going off quite a bit. Once again, I am pretty far out in the country. So, yeah, not a bad weekend. I've been in the shop quite a bit. Just me, it's been lovely. Gotten a lot of things finished, and like I said, shipped some things out today that needed to go. 4, 5, 6, great. I am just going to brush the glue onto those. I think spraying them would be overkill. So I've started using these guys from Harbor Freight. They're pretty nice. Thunderstorms. Sorry, Linda. Next time I'll just sell them a costume. But I know you can sew it. You got this. I lived in Florida for many years. And yes, it rained every day, but it didn't really... In Texas, we have thunderstorms that you think you're going to die. I mean, that's how we do it. Everything is bigger in Texas, they say. The thunderstorms are not an exception. I don't have to spray it on my hand then because the first shot goes right on. Look at that. Boom. And my nail will just sit right in there. That's pretty. Oh, sexy, sexy, sexy monster feet. Jason, now you can get excited about the sexy monster pose. But hopefully you guys can see how this is coming together and how I'm using foam And I'm just layering it up so that it's getting the look that I want. So this shirt is from the Dead Zone Haunted House. My friends Melissa Winton, James Winton, and Bart Butler were going to open a haunted house together called the Dead Zone Haunted House. It never happened. They made a t-shirt company instead for haunted houses. And that is shirts. So haunt shirts came about in part because so many people like the Dead Zone Haunted House t-shirt. And I have, I think, 2 or 3 of these that I wear on occasion. I'm layering this up. I made a base structure. I put a skin on that, and then I, kept doing one of those deals. And eventually I'll put something thin over it, like that fabric I'm talking about. And that'll become the next thing that I do to really make it, skin it up. And then I can paint it and all that. I did not spray this still. I did trace. Did not. Okay. You guys can probably tell I'm having a real hard time keeping on the air tonight. So if we lose it too much more, I'm just going to have to abandon trying to go live. Right now, I don't want to distort that foam. I just want to cure up that contact cement. Okay, that's probably cured enough now. Okay. All right. So all of our feet have sockets. I'm going to take a second and look at his feet. They're very different, but I do have these. There's 3 toes. His nails are nowhere near as long and sharp, but I might as well make him a little scarier, right? Okay. I feel pretty good about that. From here, I'm going to get me some fabric, and we're going to start. Back up a little. Hello, Xenomoth. Moth. I open in less than 25 days. It is backer rod. That foam is backer rod, is what it's called. Actually, all right, Linda. So the claws are made out of foam flooring from Harbor Freight. This is it comes on a roll from Harbor Freight. It's this stuff. It's about $10 for a 3 foot by 6 foot roll. It's all one piece. This is not the squares that are 2 foot squares. It's not them. That's a little thicker than this. I heated it and I shaped it and I bent it over, and you can see that that is that same foam. There you go. Well, you should feel special. If you're a xenomorph, I don't know what that would look like, but I think it would look cool. Eventually, I'm going to have to stop this broadcast and go get some dinner. But I think I can get some fabric on one of these feet. Let me grab the fabric and switch it on. Ah, I moved it over there. This is the fabric that I've used for his skin on everything. It doesn't look like this now, but this, if this shows through, the tones are not completely wrong for him, so I don't mind. I'm just folding my fabric up to figure out the length of what I have to cut this at. Now that I have it, I'm going to cut it. I'd like to tell you that there's some big science involved in how I do that, but no. Okay. And will half of this go around this foot? No. Half of it will not. But it'll be close, so I'm going to do it. I ain't scared. Just cutting this in half, so I have two pieces that are the same length to start with. I don't care if I do this all in one piece. That doesn't really matter to me. And I've been using contact cement all night, but now I'm going to switch to spray adhesive. Because I can't use spray adhesive to hold the bodysuit together. Because what happens is people heat up and that breaks down the glue. But these stilts from here down are not going to heat up at all. So I can use spray adhesive. I'm also going to soak it in a couple coats of latex, which will greatly strengthen it. So, yeah. I think we'll be fine with spray adhesive. all of these feet are made out of polyethylene foam. Both the backer rod, those toe rings are, pool noodles, and this black sheet foam, that's all polyethylene foam. And that's one of my favorite kind of foams to play with. All right, so I'm gonna lay this out right here. This could very well be a terrible way to do this. We'll find out together. So I know I'm going to be fighting it sticking to itself the whole time. But I do want some wrinkles in this. I want that wrinkly skin texture because the Demigorgon has that. He has a good texture on his skin. Now with contact cement, you want to wait about, wait till it sets up. With this stuff, you do have to wait about 15, 20 seconds just to make sure it gets tacky. But there's also a window where it stops being tacky. You don't want that either. So I have to guess where my middle is. You guys see how this is sticking the foam but it's made this into a skin. How about that? I know you guys were a little far away. All of the discombobulation that we got from it being several different pieces of foam has kind of gone away. I'm going to end up cutting myself a little strip for this, but I'm going through. I'm just pressing it down. Just like contact cement, what really makes this hold well is pressure. Got some nice wrinkles in the skin, but it looks like it's one piece. And that's what I wanted, as much as anything. Demigorgon foot. Sans nails. All right, I'm I'm gonna get this guy out of the way. I'll do the next one. All the structure is still there. It's been smoothed over. Like this fabric is just floating in between these two. It doesn't go all the way down. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. I'm gonna strengthen this up like crazy with latex on it. Yeah, Guyver is kind of awesome. That's a fun, crazy suit. I know you asked me some questions about that a while ago. Okay. Let's lay this out. I was very happy with how that happened, how it went. I think that it worked. This can is about dead. Let's look at this one. This can is about dead. So we have two cans. They're almost dead. Don't like that. That was just an untrimmed piece of foam. It stuck down further than I like, so I trimmed it. Ah! Okay. Alright, so that is on there plenty. Set up the way I want it. Let me put you guys there. You have to kind of remember where you sprayed this because on this piece I can't really see it. Remember that I have to fight this. If it touches itself, it's going to be sticky. Ideally, I would want this to be about 4 inches longer. Now I can come here, push this in. And the fabric stretches just enough for a lot of these to work really well. I will need a closer strip kind of in the back to get it sealed up in the back perfectly fine. This is a much more homogeneous foot now. Homogeneous, you know, it's all one piece, basically. It doesn't look like it's a bunch of different pieces of foam that I glued together. Now it looks like, okay, that's a foot. And that's what I needed to happen with this. I have good individual strength. Okay. Turn around. This foot came out better because I knew what I had to do, because I already did one. I am going to do a blender strip on the back. It's about 6 inches wide over top of all this. And I'll do it on the other one too. But the other foot, yeah, it's got about a 6-inch gap again, or less. But pretty happy with this technique and how it turned out. All right. All right, so gang, it's 8 o'clock right now. This is the state of my Demigorgon feet. Pretty happy with them. These little holes will, of course, get claws to fill them in. It's going to look nice. Yeah, that's good, man. That's going to be good. But right now, it's a good time to take a break, grab a bite to eat. I'm going to go to the house, make a bite to eat, and I'll probably be back on in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Yeah, things are going well. And I'll be back on later, but you guys have a great night. While I'm gone, go make stuff.